ngwa bịa lenu ihe mere na this video. Legodinu ihe mere na this video. Mgbe hụrụ video anọ na internet, the thing shokuru m. Mana ajụ ndị Nigeria a ga-emefu ihe dị otu a. Legodi ma ndị country shi emege ndị nwụrụ anwụ. Mmadụ ga-anwụ ebupụta ya n'akpati ọnọ. Dada ga-eli gị ka a ga-ebupụta gị n'akpati ahụ nọ buru gị gaa dosa. Design ozu gị. Ụmụ gị ga-abịa na-ele gị. Ụmụ gị ga-abịa na-ele gị. Kirie video. Legodi ihe mere na video. Kilenu video. Unu ga-ahụ ma ụrụrụ ụmụaka amụrụ ọhụrụ si bịa na-eleta ozu mma ha na mpa ha. Kirigodi video. Ihu ozu harị neat. Ụjọ aga atụtụ gị. Kirie video. Just watch this video.
This is the Death Tribe of Indonesia. People who dig up their dead loved ones, dress them in new clothing, feed them, and even play with them. They do this every 3 to 5 years in what's considered the most expensive funeral in the world. For the Torajans, the dead are still very much a part of their family, to the point where they even keep them in their home. They are called tamakula, which means sick, and they are treated that way. When the person dies, they place them in their house until they decide when they should be buried, and a funeral must be done for them. Twice a day, the family brings them their favorite things like food, water, and cigarettes. They also speak to them. They ask them questions, and the tamakula respond in their dreams. Some family members will stay this way until the family has saved up enough money for their lavish funeral. This sometimes means living for a decade with a dead body in your house before it's finally ready to be placed in a cave. So, instead of saving for a wealthy life, they save a fortune for an elaborate death. It's common for families to save for years to send off their loved ones correctly. And by correctly, we mean spending upwards of $50,000 on buffalo to sacrifice. Buffalo are the key to the afterlife. Their life's purpose is to guard against the demons and dangers of the underworld. They're so important that there's even an entire sacrificial buffalo market, with the most prized buffaloes being the ones with white marks on their skin, as it's believed they emit light as they travel through the darkness of the afterlife. The more buffaloes sacrificed, the faster your soul gets to Puya, their heaven, so the soul may finally rest. The sick are then shaken and spun to wake them up from their sleep in a festival known as Ma Nene, the Walking Dead Festival. Giant family reunions where the living and dead come together again to pay respect to ancestors. Despite the bodies having been deceased for years, they become overwhelmed with emotion as they know it's time to say goodbye. Afterwards, the bodies are placed in a cliff grave with their ancestors, believing that caves protect the dead and tree graves give deceased babies a second chance at life. In their beliefs, those babies go back to their mothers. These wooden coffins are called tautau, and they depict those who have been put to rest in the cave, which is a luxury for royalty. It's like the Hall of Fame for the Torajan people. They believe that taking care of their ancestors will bring them fortune and luck. After death, every single body is subject to decomposition, and that's why Manene exists, to care for your family. Which is why every 3 to 5 years, they open the tomb, get the corpse out, dress it up in new clothes, feed them, talk to them, and take pictures with them. It's a day of joy for the whole family. Death doesn't have to be something we're afraid of. It can be embraced and celebrated. And while the Torajans have a unique view on death, their rituals are just another way of filling our hearts with love when all we feel is pain.
Kanka buru ihe mmụta unu mụtara. Akwa iwọchiala ihe ndị country mego ozu. Akwa na wọchiala ngwa share m this video. Mee ka video ga onye ọbụla n'aka.
This is a serious mandate.